Have you ever seen a single moment change the entire direction of someone's life? Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to tell you will pull you in with every heartbeat. And if you love powerful stories of fate, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss the next life-changing tale. It all started in a cozy family-owned diner on the edge of the city, the kind of place where the neon sign buzzed faintly at night and the smell of fresh coffee filled the air at dawn. For many, it was just a quick stop to grab a bite before work, but for Emily, a 24-year-old waitress with bright, hazel eyes and a weary smile, it was her entire world. She worked double shifts, carried trays heavier than she was, and stretched every tip to pay off her mother's hospital bills. Life was far from glamorous, but she faced it with quiet strength. One rainy Thursday evening, the diner wasn't too busy. A few regulars sat in their usual booths, a couple of truckers laughed over pie, and the old jukebox hummed a tune. Then, the bell above the glass door chimed softly. A man walked in. He wasn't flashy or dressed in a way that turned heads, just a dark gray hoodie, jeans, and sneakers. He looked a little tired, maybe even lost. Emily didn't think much of it. After all, people came and went all the time. The man, tall, about 32, with sharp blue eyes and short brown hair that curled slightly when damp, slid into a corner booth. He looked ordinary, but there was something about the way he carried himself, as though he didn't quite belong in a small-town diner. Emily walked over with her usual polite smile. "Evening, sir. What can I get you tonight?" she asked, pen poised over her notepad. He looked up, his eyes meeting hers with surprising warmth. A burger, fries, and coffee. Black, please." Simple order, nothing out of the ordinary. Emily scribbled it down and went about her work. When she returned with the steaming mug of coffee, she noticed him gazing out the rain-speckled window, almost as if his mind was miles away. "Long day?" she asked softly, setting the cup down. He gave a faint smile but didn't answer right away. Finally, he said something like that. They didn't talk much after that, but when she delivered his meal, she couldn't help but notice he ate slowly, thoughtfully, as if savoring every bite. Unlike the other customers who rushed, he seemed to actually notice the small details. The cracked vinyl of the booth, the faded wallpaper, the way Emily moved quickly yet gently between tables. By the time he finished, the diner had quieted down. Emily wiped the counters while he rose to his feet and reached for his pocket. That's when it happened. His face stiffened, and he patted his jeans with growing urgency. His wallet wasn't there. Emily saw the panic flicker across his face. She'd seen it before, people forgetting cash, scrambling to figure out what to do. For many waitresses, this was frustrating. But for Emily, whose life had taught her empathy, it sparked compassion. I'm so sorry," the man stammered, visibly embarrassed. "I must have left my wallet somewhere. I can come back tomorrow and pay." Emily glanced at him, her tired but kind eyes softening. "Don't worry about it. It happens. Just remember me next time." He froze, surprised by her lack of anger. "Oh, you'd really trust me like that?" She shrugged lightly. "Everyone deserves a little grace. Besides, it's just a burger and coffee." He gave her a look she couldn't quite decipher, part gratitude, part disbelief. Then, with a quiet thank you, he slipped out into the rainy night. But as Emily cleared his booth, she noticed something lying on the seat, a slim leather wallet. Her heart skipped. He hadn't forgotten it elsewhere, he'd forgotten it here. She picked it up, about to call after him, when she saw through the window that he was already across the street, about to turn the corner. Without hesitation, Emily grabbed her coat, tucked the wallet into her apron pocket, and ran out into the storm. Her shoes splashed through puddles as she sprinted down the sidewalk, calling out, "Sir, wait! You forgot your wallet!" But her voice was drowned out by the rain and the hiss of passing cars. She chased him block after block, determination burning in her chest. She wasn't going to let a stranger lose something so important. Finally, she caught sight of him standing under a street lamp, trying to hail a cab. Panting, hair plastered to her forehead, she ran up and thrust the wallet into his hands. "Here, you left this at the diner!" The man stared at her, stunned. His lips parted as if he couldn't believe she'd gone through so much effort for him. You ran all this way? In the rain?" Emily, breathless, just laughed. "Well, I couldn't let you lose it. There's probably something important in there, right?" The man looked down at the wallet, then back at her. And for the briefest moment, his carefully guarded mask slipped. His eyes softened, almost vulnerable. He nodded slowly. "Yeah, more important than you know." And that was the night Emily unknowingly changed her life forever. Emily didn't expect to see him again. To her, it was just a small act of kindness, the sort of thing she'd hoped someone would do for her. But fate had other plans. 2 days later, The diner door chimed once more. Emily glanced up from pouring coffee for an elderly couple, and her breath caught. It was him, the same man, though this time he wasn't in a hoodie and jeans. He wore a tailored navy suit, polished shoes, and carried himself with quiet confidence that suddenly made the modest diner feel far too small. "Morning," he said, sliding into the same booth. Emily blinked, half stunned. "Back again?" He smiled. "I told you I'd remember you." She approached cautiously, still unsure. "Another burger and coffee?" He chuckled softly. Not today. I came back to pay for the last meal." He placed a crisp $100 bill on the table. Emily's eyes widened. "That's way too much. Consider it gratitude." He leaned back, studying her. "Most people wouldn't have chased me in the rain. You didn't even know who I was." "So why would that matter?" Emily asked, puzzled. "A person's a person. You forgot your wallet, I returned it, that's all." But the way he looked at her suggested it wasn't that simple. After a pause, he extended his hand. "I'm Daniel." She shook it. "Emily." Over the next week, Daniel returned again, and again. At first, Emily assumed it was coincidence, but soon it was clear. He came back just to see her. They'd talk during her breaks, laughing over little things, sharing bits of their lives. Yet Daniel never spoke much about his own. He listened more than he revealed, and Emily, though curious, didn't press. Then one evening, just as the diner was closing, she stepped outside to find Daniel leaning against a sleek black car that definitely didn't belong in their quiet town. He opened the door, revealing a driver inside. Her brows furrowed. "Daniel, what's going on?" He hesitated, then sighed. "I didn't mean to keep this from you. I wanted to know if someone could see me, not the money, not the name, just me. To you as what?" Emily asked carefully. Daniel looked at her with those piercing blue eyes, no longer able to hide. "And Daniel Harrington, CEO of Harrington Enterprises." Emily froze. She'd heard that name. Everyone had. He wasn't just wealthy. He was one of the youngest billionaires in the country. The man who'd sat in her diner, ordered a burger, and forgotten his wallet was someone who could buy the entire block without blinking. But as the truth sank in, Emily noticed something. He wasn't proud of it. If anything, he looked almost afraid. Afraid she'd see him differently now. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, with a faint smile, she shook her head. "Billionaire or not, you still forgot your wallet." Daniel stared at her, then broke into laughter, genuine and unguarded. It was the first time she'd seen him laugh like that. "Oh, you really are something, Emily." From that night on, their connection grew. What started as a forgotten wallet had turned into something far deeper, a bond built not on wealth or status, but on kindness and authenticity. And for Daniel, a man surrounded by people who wanted his money, Emily was a rare light. But for Emily, it wasn't the money or the revelation that mattered. It was the simple truth that sometimes chasing after someone with nothing but good intentions can lead you to the very thing you never knew you were missing. So if you've ever doubted that a small act of kindness can change everything, remember Emily and Daniel. One forgotten wallet became the beginning of a story that neither of them, or anyone watching, would ever forget. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now, because more stories that will move your soul are on the way.